we're live. Hello, everybody. This is BeastCat100 here with.
Yeah, we're live. I'm Kris 4, by the way.
Okay. And welcome back to some more recaps. No, catch ups. I fucked up. Okay, and we're trying
to.
I fucked up the video. Now, welcome back to some more Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. In the previous episode, we had caught up on the footage of trying to prove Grayo guilty of the crime 3 months ago against Sir Belduke. And at the end, she had admitted as such. What follows from here, we know, but you're going to find out. So if you like what you see, leave a like down below, comment if you have anything to say, subscribe to me and Kris if you haven't already. Click those bells so you're notified of everything that we do when we do it, and share with your friends so they can join in on this investigation. So this is
Oh yeah.
this is
Right, my training.
your training. Ready?
I was an only child born to a poor family. I've been a witch since I was very little. When did I become aware of it? I don't remember. Although I was but a young child, I knew that being a witch was a crime. That's why I hid my witch's scepter and wouldn't use magic at all. My father worked as a bricklayer. He toiled every day, but we could hardly make ends meet. One winter day, we couldn't afford to pay the rent. We were going to lose the house. I was in tears, and my father was sitting with his head down. Worse.
I want money from Mommy and Daddy. That was supposed to be voiced in the actual thing.
Right.
That day, I suddenly remembered about the witch's scepter that I had hidden.
The Goldor spell.
I thought I'd try it just once, casting the spell. But at the time, I had no idea what an irreversible mistake that would be. Even now, no one told me. I knew from the very beginning what magic I was able to use. What should I turn into gold? I was thinking about it really hard. Gold was something that wouldn't stand out, that for a work of art. Then I decided. I chose a pretty leaf that had fallen into our garden.
Goldor!
That it wasn't the right thing to do after all. I was terribly punished for using magic even just the once.
Punished? In what way were you punished?
I placed the leaf down on the back garden and cast a spell. But then Margaret suddenly walked in.
Margaret?
My closest childhood friend. Margaret, right eyes. She was turned into gold.
Oh dear me.
I screamed and cried, but I knew I couldn't ask anyone for help. If anyone had seen it, they would have known it was the work of magic. And I knew Margaret wasn't coming back. That's terrible. And then my mother and my father's faces flashed before my eyes. We may have been very poor, but we were all happy together. Had I been captured as a witch, I feared my parents wouldn't be safe either. That thought tormented me more than anything. I made the decision. I decided to end my own life. I threw myself into the river near the town. It was winter. The water was as cold as ice. Couldn't even move. It was painful. My consciousness started drifting away. The next thing I knew, I was in Master Balduke's residence. He risked his own life jumping into the freezing river to save me. I burst into tears and told him everything. I didn't want to go back home. I would only end up causing my parents grief. Master Balduke said listen to me without interrupting. And then he told me this.
You can stay here. But from now on, you must live as a boy.
Master Balduke met with my parents and explained everything to them. They were very sad, but they agreed it would be best if I didn't return home. Poor Miss Margaret. That must have been so awful for her.
And Grail as well.
Did I say girl?
You said Margaret.
Did that say girl and I said Margaret?
Yes.
Okay. My vision might just be going then. Because I swear to God that said Margaret.
Nope. Alright. Continue.
Good.
Master bought the house for my parents so they wouldn't have to worry about paying the rent anymore.
Well, I guess the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
As for Margaret, turned into gold, he brought her to this residence. He knew that if anyone saw her, they would report an incident of witchcraft.
And this Miss Margaret, is she still in that golden state?
Yes, she is.
That's strange. We've received no reports of anyone by that name having gone missing.
Margaret is being kept in the basement under Master's study.
The basement? Correct me if I'm wrong, but this Margaret, is she a...
Yes, my dear friend was a goat that we were keeping at our house.
Oh.
Goat? Huh.
Until then, Master Balduke had mainly been researching medicine. But since the incident with Margaret, he became known as an alchemist.
So that's when he became an alchemist. I was wondering why the goat was the only thing not covered in dust. That just means he upkept it like he said he would.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I started a new life as Master Balduke's butler.
So Balduke would sometimes work as a physician, curing the townspeople of their illnesses. As his assistant, you should have also been commitment to helping the townsfolk through your work.
I forgot about being a witch and was able to live happily, at peace with everyone. I thought it would stay like that forever.
But it didn't, did it? You fucked up. But those peaceful days came to an abrupt end.
You don't have to rub it in.
Tell us, what in the world was the cause? Listen, you'll be dead soon, you won't remember this.
Spoilers!
She's a witch!
Even if I'm not quite sure what led to this. Or even oh god.
Wow, girl, you certainly became a lot more
God,
mature
I'm
and
tired.
manly.
Yeah, no, she just... she just grows up into Phoenix. Anyway. Maybe she was a real boy. Anyway.
Even I'm not quite sure what led to this. However, it all started in the Fire Nation 3 months ago with that lightning strike.
Same difference. The Fire Nation learned how to use lightning by the end anyway.
Yeah.
Master Beldic and I were on our way back home, carrying specimens for experiments. An old bell tower appeared in the flames. Everyone who saw it was stupefied.
Let me be clear. Yes, I know it's not the entire Fire Nation, but somebody in the Fire Nation learned how to wield fucking lightning. Okay.
Are you clarifying for the audience or for me?
Whoever's gonna jump down my throat about how inaccurate that statement was.
Because, I mean, I knew how inaccurate that statement was. I just didn't decide to say anything about it.
But the expression on Master Beldic's face was unlike anything I'd seen before.
What do you mean?
His face went pale and twisted in sheer terror. He was shaking violently.
I was yawning, Rob. I almost spat on my computer screen. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Oh god, it's a bell tower.
Oh my god. My face is still very tired. Why?
Did you not get any sleep?
I don't know. Okay.
It wasn't just astonishment at an unusual phenomenon. It seemed as if he was afraid of something more concrete.
Perhaps Sir Belduke saw something that others couldn't.
He canceled his experiments for that night and began writing a letter to someone.
A letter?
I found out about it when I brought him his bottle of tomato juice.
Tomato juice.
Mm-hmm. Juice.
He was writing feverishly.
As if he was possessed.
As if he was possessed. I saw some things. A few words in that letter. Expose everything. Cannot keep the secret any longer. The truth about the witch.
Are you okay there?
What? I'm just moving.
Okay.
Is it staticking?
No, but in the silence I can hear everything.
Probably shouldn't be anything. Whatever.
Hey, it's fine.
Master Beldic was going to confess that I was a witch. Everything went black in front of my eyes. I will never forget that feeling that overwhelmed me at that moment.
Is that when you decided to commit the crime?
What I did first was accidentally singe a part of the wall in my room. It was an excuse to repaint that section of the wall green.
And you also painted the wall behind that painting in Sir Belduke's study.
And when that fateful night came, I used a syringe to inject a sulfuric through the cork and into the bottle of tomato juice. So many thoughts were running through my head as I wished Master a good night. opened the portal behind him. He was right there in front of me, asleep. I reached for the letter in the letterbox, taking care not to wake him. And then I happened to notice the name on the envelope. Storyteller. When I read that name, the world all around me turned black once more. It's impossible to avoid what is written by the storyteller. It seemed as if I could hear the doors to all escape routes shutting closed. It was the sound of despair.
Oh!
I don't know if I mentioned this before, but how fitting that the character who I voiced Chiaki as is talking about how much despair she's feeling. I don't know if you muted yourself on purpose or not, but I heard it.
Eating.
Oh.
I would like you to
I don't
believe
have any
me.
voices here. What are you talking about?
Ugh. 90% Kris the episode, here we go.
I would like you to believe me that the thought of taking Master Belding's life never once occurred to me. I only planned to steal the letter and then disappear. But as I looked upon Master sleeping there in front of me, at that moment, I felt an evil presence awaken within me. Why did he save my life? And why did he betray me? Before I realized what I was doing, my hands were clutching his neck. He didn't move at all, so I kept on clutching his neck. That's the truth of what happened 3 months ago.
Barnum!
Oh, what? Sorry. There is just one thing I fail to understand.
Yes?
You said you wanted to run away once you had stolen the letter. Yet, despite that, you continued to live in Sir Belduke's residence. And now, here you stand. Why did you not run away?
My life had been thrown into disarray due to the absurdity of magic. I had learned all about alchemy living at Master Belduke's residence. Alchemy is concerned with the logic that governs the world. I wanted to believe that that was truly such a thing, so I so I stayed in that place, hoping one day to see the irrational nature of magic overcome by the power of reason.
Magic being overcome by reason.
At night, I sought the letter with blank sheets of parchment and waited for the sun to rise. I resolved to wait for the day when my true identity could be exposed, though through reason and logic. Master's death remained a mystery for 3 months, and people started to lose interest. And then you guys appeared. Mr. Wright. On the day you visited the residence, I was listening to your conversation from the other room. Has the time finally come for me? My heart was racing with anticipation. Then, a few minutes ago, after everyone agreed that
the room, an unbelievable... After everyone entered that room, an unbelievable incident occurred. That incident?
A witch appeared in Master's study.
What?
I wanted to get a good look at the witch, so I created a portal in the wall behind the painting. Precisely
at that moment.
Oh, precisely at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Goldor!
The witch used one of the very spells that I can use too. When I heard those words, a single thought flashed into my mind. That was my chance. I could dispose of my witch's scepter. I knew that at the time what kind of a witch the Inquisition would look for.
A witch that could use Familia and Goldor.
It occurred to me that I only needed to change one of the magic gems. I had previously found out that the Familia gem was purple. I realized if I swapped the Goldor magic gem for my amethyst, I could pin the crime on that witch.
And so you changed one of the gems and threw the witch's scepter into the room. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Objection!
Firepower!
Wait a minute, Jean Greyl. This statement of yours is highly problematic.
How so, Inquisitor Barnum?
Yes, you're right.
Could someone please explain to me what this is about?
The judge is still stupid as fuck.
I am a witch indeed.
Hold on.
A sinful creature that killed the person whom she owed her life. However, regarding the gentleman standing next to you, Mr. Wright, he may have fallen victim to a witch, but that witch was not me.
Ah. Oh. Wait, what?
Nope, no Cadus jokes.
Nope. Order in the court. What is the meaning of this?
Jean Greyl admits to killing Sir Belduke, but not to turning Sir Layton into gold. That is the gist of it, my lord.
But lying about it is meaningless. Lying?
Just being a witch is a crime in and of itself. And the punishment for that crime is the same, regardless of whether she took one person's life or not.
So, go crazy, go on a rampage, it doesn't even matter.
As long as you're a witch.
As long as you're a witch, just kill everybody.
Just kill everybody. Oh.
Don't fall over now.
No, I almost made my laptop fall over.
That's why there's no point in lying about it. I'm sure that's what the judge is thinking.
Girl is still claiming she never laid a finger on the professor. What is the point in lying?
Why does that mean?
Does that mean she must be telling us the truth?
So in that case, who's responsible for what happened to the professor? If it wasn't her, then who was it?
Think through the evidence.
But at this point, we don't have all the evidence that we need.
Oh. One horse is something.
No. I just want Layton no. Phoenix and Barnum to just turn and just like, no.
Just like done with his shit. Just no.
Take a hint, witness. Does it feel like this is the right moment for you to talk?
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was saying quite until now. But I either say it now or never. You simply fall silent after saying that. It only makes it weigh on my mind more. Whatever you did want to say it?
It's there.
Oi, Bluey!
Yes?
Well, I need to make sure about something. My head's not what it used to be, you know?
Yes.
The alchemist is the butler, Lady Butler. She slipped sleep medicine into that potion, right? Grape tomato juice? That's correct. She laced his tomato juice with it. And then, she strangled the alchemist afterwards.
Yes, so Belduke was unconscious from the sleep medicine, so he didn't exist.
I'm sorry, I was eating. Jesus Christ. That explains why we found no signs of a struggle at the crime scene.
Yeah, about that. And then it's about what I did at the crime scene, right? I told you that, I had a few sips of that juice.
And then the sleep medicine mixed in made you sleep like a log. Yes, we remember.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's just between us, okay? See, when I appropriated that juice, the juice bottle was, well, still unopened.
It was unopened?
My throat was parched and I wasn't thinking straight. That brand new bottle was just there, waiting for me, with a corkscrew conveniently laid next to it. I couldn't just let that go to waste. I swiftly pulled out the cork and got to drinking.
What?
So, in case you don't get what I'm getting at, the alchemist didn't have a single drop of the juice with the sleep medicine.
You...
What? THX.
Fuck, that's a reference from a long time ago.
Yeah, it is.
We're old.
Yeah, we are.
Witness,
You
went to the trouble of opening a bottle found at the crime scene just to drink its suspicious contents?
That's not the point, Judge.
That's what I've been telling you. I was dying of thirst.
You know, not the sex kind.
That doesn't justify what you've done.
Objection! The Inquisition shall deal with this witness after the trial. He will find out what it means to be dying of thirst in a more literal meaning. However, let us not waste any more time with him now.
But this is important.
The witch has confessed to her crimes. There is no need to investigate Sir Belduke's death any further.
Indeed, you're right, Professor. Prosecutor.
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor. Wow, my brain's just fried. Her role Take two. Her role in the Sir Layton incident is not entirely clear. But the person who kills the Protector, to whom she owes her very life, can be nothing other than a witch. The court has sufficient grounds to sentence her as such. Beldick didn't drink the juice that night. And if that's true, then there's one thing. And here it doesn't exist yet.
That doesn't add up.
That doesn't
Come
add
on,
up.
stay with me, Kris. We're gonna get through this, and then you can take a nap.
It's not even like I'm tired. My eyes are just like I want to not see anything occasionally.
Well, explain your voice then. You're slurring, bud.
Am I? Uh-oh.
Yes, you were.
I guess I couldn't tell.
Mr. White, I have to say, there's something about this that's bothering me. I'm sure there's a contradiction lurking in this man's testimony. You think so, Luke?
Can I really turn a blind eye to that?
Yep. Bye. Case is
Bye.
over.
That's it. Everything's done. Mister, you're saying you opened the tomato juice bottle. But can that claim contradicts a certain piece of evidence?
What?
Defense? I'd like a word with you. He takes it to the back corner and just bitch slaps him across the face.
Stop it right now! Stop it!
You stupid!
Stop it! Stop it!
Stupid!
Stop it, anybody!
Good. Just the piece together.
Yep,
the things you did.
Yep.
At this point, your client's innocence has already been established.
In one case,
Therefore, whether there is a contradiction of that man's testimony or not should no longer be of any concern to you. That may be so, Your Honor, but even though I'm here to defend the accused, the true duty of any attorney is to make sure their client is innocent and not care about the truth, except in this universe where the truth is always the answer.
because in real life, fuck the truth.
Yeah, really.
Oh.
My job's not done until there are no more contradictions left. I mean, he's not wrong. That's technically when his job is done.
Very well. Sir Blue Knight, let us hear about this contradiction you have discovered.
It was first opened by that guy, meaning Belduke didn't drink any of it. That means there's one piece of evidence that should be very difficult to explain.
The photos.
Heck yeah.
I would like to hear about this contradiction too. The defense shall present the evidence. Where is the contradiction in this witness having been the one who opened the Jumato tooth bottle?
Oh, oof. Bad slip up there, buddy.
Oof. The contradiction can be, you can continue. It can be seen in one of the sketches of the crime scene.
I know what I'm doing.
In one of the sketches? Please take a look in this book. I mean, at the mouth. We can see a line of red liquid trickling down from his mouth. Yes, well, you've already established that it was the tomato juice. Oh! Exactly, Your Honor. Sir Belduke didn't drink any of the tomato juice that night.
Objection! Which means there's only one other possibility.
Why are you objecting to me if you're agreeing with me?
Shush! My time. That red line is, as we first thought of it all, blood. So we must have tried to fight back at the assailant and bit his tongue in doing so.
Was the fight black?
I did not say that.
That is what you said.
I did not.
Look back at the stream.
Fight black!
Unfortunately, that would only bring us back to the problem we encountered earlier.
Earlier.
If the victim had put up a fight, then there should have been traces of a struggle at the crime scene. And yet, no such traces were found. That's what made you assume the witch must have used Familia.
Ugh! Yes, that is so.
As I explained before, Master Beldic didn't struggle at all at the time. But when I think about it now, in light of the new information, it was very unnatural.
The victim didn't drink the sulfuric yet didn't struggle? But what does this mean? If it's not tomato juice nor blood brought about through a struggle with the murderer, then what else could it be? Since it's not tomato juice, we have to assume it's blood after all. Yeah, right, it's gotta be that.
We've ruled out the possibility that the victim bit his tongue while struggling with the attacker.
Indeed.
Then there's gotta be a different reason for blood being there. He must have suffered internal bleeding that was somehow connected to his death. But what could have caused it? Maybe you should look in front of you, Phoenix. Your Honor, if I may ask one question. A question? To whom? If I just clarify this one suspicion, I may be able to explain the blood shown in the sketch.
I remember we fucked up on this when we were actually doing that. Like, we didn't, but we did. Like, because the game is like, no, that's not the way. That's not the way this is supposed to go. No.
Yeah, because we thought ahead, right?
Yeah, we did think ahead, or at least I did. I'm not sure if you knew at that point. Not sure if you put it together at that point.
I think I at least knew what was. I knew that Emir showed the bottle before,
right?
Like on screen,
right?
Several times, but like, I don't. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember.
Also, spoilers for like 10 seconds now.
Yeah, don't give me that scary book, Bluey. Look, not book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know nothing at all. I've got nothing to tell.
Oh, good, he's muted.
Of course, you could always put his song in post.
No.
You'd be better off without that bard. Like we are, technically.
Mm-hmm.
You drank the tomato juice that was at the crime scene, correct? Don't keep asking me about that over and over again. So what if I did? Then I have another question for you. Did anything else disappear from the crime scene that day? Oh. No, I didn't notice anything.
Objection!
Oh wait, that's you.
Motherfucker, I don't get many lines in here. Shut up. Witness, what have you done this time? You look like a dog caught making a mess on the carpet.
Dragging his butt on the floor. Why are you looking at me like that? I don't know anything about going missing. I'm innocent. Please believe me. He sounds like a drunk thwomp that's also a car alarm.
Alright, internet, get to work.
What do you mean, internet gets to work?
Art of that now.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding.
You know what to do, Suzie. Why did she even watch this series? Looks like my gut feeling was right. He took something from the crime scene. But I wonder what it is.
I have no idea.
Nope. totally isn't the thing that he was holding. They actually paused it on the frame where he held it up to the camera. So, you know, totally not something that was directly connected to the red liquid around Sir Belduke's mouth. His mouth. What on earth did a man steal from the crime scene? A certain item disappeared from the crime scene that day. And at this very moment, it's highly likely that item is the right in front of our very eyes.
What? It's here.
Isn't that right, Emir?
It is? I have no idea.
Defender, I order you to show us what this item is. The item that this witness took from the crime scene.
Don't look at me like that.
No, oh yeah.
Yeah, the magic
face.
Get that off my Get that off my face.
Oh, I missed that episode.
I know.
He just zooms the magnifying glass over his dumb face right in the middle of his bulbous nose, and I'm just like, hold about that.
Got it. Got it. Gotcha.
Alright, good. It's this bottle. The bottle? Miss Guerrero, I'd like you to clarify something for me. What could that be, Mr. Wright? Or what could that be, Mr. Wright? Sir Belduke was working on certain medicines. He had various dangerous substances in his possession as well. How were they stored? Master kept them in the locked medicine cabinet. The bottles were all labeled so that it was clear that they were dangerous. They'd all have been confiscated. As for those labels, did they reassemble the label in that guy's bottle? Mister, what are you doing with the product of the Master's research?
It's not what you think it is. I didn't have any evil intentions or nothing.
That bottle belonged to Master, and it was used to store strong poison. Poison strong enough to kill.
Poison?
What? Yeah, I'm still here.
Then the red liquid trickling down from Sir Belduke's mouth was definitely blood. Next, as for what caused him to bleed like that from his mouth, it was a deadly poison that the bottle with this guy stole from the crime scene.
Or something like those words that I just said. This is outrageous.
Yeah, your dialect is so awful.
Listen, Barnum, you gotta shut your mouth, alright?
Listen, you're the one that's dragging this trial on for way too fucking long. Again.
Hey, blame the fact that we haven't gotten to this sooner on the fact that we haven't gotten to this sooner, okay? Okay.
You and your fucking truth and bullshit. I'm gonna stab you right here.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Talk! Order!
It fits.
Whoa. Did you expect me to just keep quiet? It was poison? Poison? Am I gonna die?
Unfortunately, no. Yeah, just wait and see. Time will tell.
Good. Yeah, I guess.
More importantly, I want to know why you have that bottle.
Can you show me?
I want to know about those strangers like me.
Well, that's... Remember I told you I drank from the alchemist's tomato juice?
Multiple times, yes.
It's not something easy to forget, especially having heard it several times.
Well, that's when I saw it on the floor. This bottle right here. It was totally empty, and I thought, it was such a fancy looking bottle and all. I'm a bit of a skull fancier. they have this air of danger around them, right?
They certainly do.
So since it was there and I was there too, I felt like we were kind of meant for each other. I thought this bottle was so classy, I could die from it.
It's too bad you didn't. It's too bad you didn't.
Had any poison been left in the bottle, you would have died instantly. But if it was empty, it was probably harmless.
Oh, hear that? I'm gonna live! Good thing I missed it well before.
What?
He rinsed it out.
Oh. Rinsed, not missed.
Oof.
But if the victim was killed by poison, that raises a new question, of course.
Who could have poisoned him?
Considering all the evidence and the testimonies we've heard today, the answer might surprise you. Sir Belduc was poisoned by...
Amir!
He was poisoned by Amir. It was, of course, Sir Belduc himself.
Sir Belduc himself?
Sir Belduc took that poison of his own will.
Boom.
His death was suicide! Mortal Kombat!
Objection! That is preposterous. A suicide? Inconceivable. We don't have suicides here.
Think about it, Inquisitor. Actually, don't, because it's very dark. That would explain the most unnatural aspect of his death. The most unnatural aspect? Miss Guerrero, when you were strangling Sir Belduc,
Did you like it?
did you enjoy it? Did you feel very hot and bothered while strangling a dead man's body? You sick
I
fuck.
think Phoenix's face says it all.
Just...
Why did I say that?
Of all... Why did I go through my brain? Why? Why, brain? He put up no fight whatsoever, is that correct?
Yes, it is. Until today, I was convinced it was due to sleep medicine.
Also, wait, isn't it in this episode that we did the whole Frederick thing as Chiaki's voice? Or was that earlier?
I don't remember.
Because I vaguely remember sometime near about this point, or I was just... like he said Milord, and then you were like Milord, and I was like Millard, and I was like Frederick, and you're like, oh.
I don't remember.
Of course, if this happened earlier, then I'm just literally repeating what just happened in the previous episode, so whatever. It wasn't, because he didn't take any. The truth is, when you gripped his throat, Sir Belduc was already dead. He had poisoned himself.
Ugh!
That SpongeBob reference is awful.
Stop it!
But would the poison have caused him to bleed from his mouth?
I know of no poison that works instantly and cause such symptoms.
What the fuck are you on about?
Fucking
Oh, you
medieval
don't?
times.
Oh, I can't just tell him that happens on TV all the time, or in Danganronpa, spoilers. There are certain plants in this...
There are certain plants in this area that
cause things. In the course of research, Master Belduc found a way to extract that poison.
What am I hearing? Is there really such a dangerous plant in Labyrinthia?
the poison is very bitter to taste, so it would be impossible to secretly slip it into someone's food or drink. And it would cause internal damage. It is a very powerful poison. drinking it would induce a most painful death.
And you think Sir Belduke could...
But did Sir Belduke really choose such an agonizing death for himself?
I don't know, he seems rather comfortable.
This doesn't seem like he suffered that much.
I would like to know that too.
Miss Grey Arrow.
You mean to say Master killed himself after exposing me as a witch? I cannot believe it. He just wouldn't commit suicide.
Indeed, we cannot take such a theory at face value. Had he committed suicide, I dare say he would have left a suicide note.
Oh? Can't say why Sir Belduke committed suicide, but I think there's a piece of evidence that can confirm his suicide was a possibility.
There is a piece of evidence like that?
There's a piece of evidence for everything. If you have such evidence, you ought to present it to the court immediately. Present the evidence indicating that Sir Belduke's death could have been suicide.
Nah.
No.
What do you mean, no?
That's something! You lied to me! Guilty! Let's see, it was addressed to the storyteller, wasn't it? It's the last letter written by Sir Belduke. Now, if his death was a suicide, then this letter may very well be his suicide note.
Objection! What we have here is nothing more than blank sheets of parchment. Whether or not there was a suicide note is something we can only speculate about.
That's right. But there is one person who knows whether this letter was really a suicide note.
You mean the person who swapped its contents? In other words,
Yeah,
you, Jean Grail.
You're piecing it together. Witness, you stole Sir Belduke's letter on the night of the crime. Tell us, what was written in it?
I don't know.
What? You don't know?
I did steal the letter, yes. But I don't know what its contents were.
You mean you have not read it?
I couldn't bring myself to read it. It seemed that if I did, everything that had happened since Master Belduke saved my life would be ruined in an instant. I've taken it out and held it in my hands many times. But no matter what, I just couldn't. Miss Grail.
Can you tell us what that letter is now?
I have it here.
Oh! You're carrying it on with you? If you were searched, you would have been done for. Except this is medieval times, so no search is allowed.
That night, having killed Master Belduke, I decided to stay in his residence. I knew my identity would be revealed sooner or later, and I was ready for it. So, until that time, I decided to always keep the letter with me. My lord,
Yes, witness?
if you don't mind, could you please read aloud? Now that I'm here, in this place of judgment, I think I'm finally ready to hear what Master wrote.
And there it is. That is everything that we have missed. In the next episode, gonna be back to our regular recording setup.
Oh boy!
I'm not sure if you would ever see this, but Slizer, I thank you for recording all of this years and years ago, and
Introducing Rob to Apollo Justice before he could even play it.
Yeah, and if there is a problem with all of this, definitely come and contact me, and we'll figure things out. But this is the only way that I could have thought that we could possibly do this without having to restart everything.
Replaying the whole game.
Yeah. So once again, that's Z Slizer. I'll put his channel in the end cards for you to check out. But next time, we'll be back to our regular recording stuff, and we're going to finish up this trial once and for all.
Until your computer crashes the second time.
I swear to God, Kris, don't you dare. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys later.
Goodbye.